Discover the incredible journey of a girl who transformed ocean pollution into heartwarming hope. Lily Thompson stood at the edge of the tide pools, her heart racing. The soft foam of the waves kissed her bare feet, while the sun painted the sky in hues of orange and pink. Every time she visited this magical place, it felt as if the ocean whispered secrets of adventure, urging her to explore. She collected seashells, each one a treasure, glistening with memories and stories. Alongside her was her mother, Sarah, whose laughter danced with the sound of the sea, crafting an unbreakable bond. But the beauty of Willow Bay was threatened. One evening as they strolled along the beach, they stumbled upon a sight that would haunt them. Plastic littered the shore, choking the delicate creatures of the tide pools, and the water, once so clear, looked murky and stressed. Lily's heart sank as she held a shattered piece of a fishing net. It was more than just garbage, it was a destroyer of livelihoods. The thought of her grandfather, a veteran who cherished freedom and nature, brought tears to her eyes. He had always said, "Stand up for what's right, even when the tide is against you." Galvanized by love for her hometown and the memory of her grandfather, Lily felt a fire ignite within her. It was time to act. Rallying her friends at school, she envisioned a grand cleanup initiative, an army of thinkers and doers, ready to restore their paradise. Her excitement filled the hallways, bringing hope to those who were fed up with seeing their beach suffocate. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. The buzz of excitement swept through homerooms, but soon whispers of dissent followed. Powerful corporations with money and influence began wielding their weight against her. Just a kid trying to play hero, they sneered. Critics turned her dream into a target, and soon she faced skepticism instead of support. Her heart tightened as laughter rang near her, ready to push her from the shoreline of hope back into the shadows of doubt. Maybe it's too much, she thought, tears pricking her eyes like splashes from the ocean. But deep inside, the voice of her grandfather echoed, stirring her resolve. Could she actually change minds' hearts' fates? Standing outside the town council, the thick air was full of questions. She was just a 12-year-old, yet here she was, ready to speak before adults who seemed so powerful. She took a deep breath, feeling the pulse of Willow Bay surging through her veins. Would her words echo beyond ridicule? Would her plea for hope turn the tide in a fight that felt so big? With palms sweaty and heart pounding, she stepped up, knowing she stood not just for herself, but for her mom, her town, and her ocean. And as the murmurs quieted, she opened her mouth, ready to bridge the rifts that had begun to tear her beloved community apart. Lily swallowed hard, her mouth suddenly dry. The town council chambers were filled with faces, many examining her with skepticism, while others wore expressions of indifference. But at the front, her mom sat with hope in her eyes, like a lighthouse in a storm. That made her heart swell, and with renewed courage she began. "Good evening, everyone." Her voice wavered at first, but she pushed through. "I'm Lily Thompson. I love Willow Bay, and I believe we can help our ocean. Together." She glanced down, spotting her beating heart reflected in the gleam of a plastic bottle shimmering at her feet. It anchored her, a reminder of the reality they faced. "Every year, tons of plastic end up in our water," she continued, her voice gaining strength. "That's not just waste. It's a danger to sea creatures and to us." A ripple of murmurs ran through the crowd, surprise mixed with disbelief. "To think that our beach could look beautiful again feels overwhelming," she added, glancing at the familiar horizon outside the window. "But what if hundreds of us parents, kids, friends came together? What if we cleaned it? Not just here but everywhere. We can be the change." She felt the pulse of her grandfather's words in her chest. It brought clarity amidst chaos. Lily's imagination painted vibrant images of her friends and families collecting trash, laughing, and restoring the joy of the beach. A contagious enthusiasm hung in the air, and she saw a flicker of hope in some of their eyes. But then a voice cut through the optimism. A local businessman with sharp features stood up, arms folded. "And what happens when you all go home? This is a Band-Aid solution for a gaping wound. We need real change, not just a cleanup day. Lily's heart plummeted. The daunting reality washed over her like cold waves at high tide. There was more to unpack than just picking up trash. The fear of her fight becoming futile loomed above her. But she steadied herself. This wasn't just about trash. It was about spirit. Sir, she spoke firmly, refusing to back down. It's a start. If we can show that we care, maybe we can inspire change in how our town deals with pollution. Maybe we can push for better regulations. As murmurs spread throughout the room, she spotted her friends giving her encouraging nods. Their presence was like a warm embrace, wrapping her in something stronger than fear. Determination soaked into her voice. And if we can band together to make our beach a clean place to play, what else can we achieve? The businessman's eyebrows lifted, intrigued but still skeptical. And what happens when you're faced with a wall of opposition? Then I'll climb it, Lily replied, refusing to flinch. She locked eyes with him, challenging, vibrant and alive with the energy of the sea that fueled her conviction. Yes, being a kid has its challenges, but our voices have power. Just look at the community that's gathered here. Wouldn't it show everyone that we're willing to fight for what we love? As she breathed in, the air felt different. A mixture of fear and excitement permeating the room. Would her words ripple through the crowd, igniting a spark of change? A few silhouettes shifted among the council members, deep in conversation. The energy felt electric, palpable, and she could see it, a slight flicker of hope surfacing on faces once set in stone. Suddenly the door swung open and in walked someone familiar, a figure she hadn't expected. Someone who could make all the difference. As Lily's eyes widened and her heart raced, she couldn't help but wonder, could this be the ally she'd been waiting for? Lily's heart thundered as she caught sight of the figure entering the room. It was Jamie, her former science teacher, the one who had always inspired her with stories about marine biology and the wonders of the ocean. The familiar curls and bright smile cut through Lily's uncertainty like sunlight piercing dark clouds. Lily, Jamie called out, moving swiftly toward her. I heard you were speaking tonight. The warmth in Jamie's voice washed over Lily, bringing her a sense of reassurance. I am, Lily said, the surprise in her voice melding with hope. I'm trying to get everyone involved in cleaning up our beach. She gestured around the chambers, her nervousness giving way to old enthusiasm. But it hasn't been easy. Jamie nodded knowingly, and Lily felt an unshakable connection with her teacher. I believe in you, Lily. I always have. What can I do to help? Lily's face lit up, excitement bubbling to the surface. We're thinking of organizing a beach cleanup, and I want to show the town we can make a bigger impact. But I need support. Someone with authority who can really push for change. I can speak to the council tomorrow, share my experiences with plastic pollution and marine life, make it clear this is a community issue, Jamie offered, her voice steady. Lily's breath caught in her throat. You do that? Absolutely. This is what I'm passionate about. And I'm thrilled to see you stepping up. Jamie glanced around the room, her presence somehow spreading a gentle wave of enthusiasm that electrified the air. More people started to lean in, shifting interest from skepticism to curiosity. The businessman who had questioned Lily stood with his arms less tense, a thoughtful expression replacing his earlier doubt. You have a plan then, Lily? He asked, intrigued but guarded. Yes. I want to involve schools, organizations, anyone willing to lend a hand. We'll gather volunteers to clean, then host educational sessions about ocean conservation, Lily explained, her heart racing. Could it be possible? Young people like you have good ideas, he admitted, crossing his arms but softening his stance. Get enough support, and I may reconsider my position. But you must present something solid, actual plans. Then I will, she replied, determination flooding her body. I'll make a detailed proposal and invite everyone to join next week. I'll also ask for expert insights on what we can change, how we can push for town policies on waste management. It's time we all care. Cheers erupted from her friends in the back, their eyes sparkling with renewed energy. The atmosphere shifted suddenly, filling with an electric vibration of camaraderie that hadn't existed moments before. Lily turned back to Jamie, who beamed with pride. This is just the beginning, isn't it? Lily nodded, feeling the weight of her conviction settle deep in her chest. Yes, we can change Willow Bay. I know we can. As the council meeting drew to a close, whispers of possibility and plans for the future filled the room. But doubt still lingered. What if they failed? What if the challenge was too big? As she stepped outside into the cool evening air, Lily felt both exhilarated and scared. Remember, climbing walls isn't just about the action. It's about resolve, Jamie said beside her, as they walked toward the parking lot. At that moment, Lily knew the need for a strategy was critical. What if she gathered not just volunteers but experts, activists, and even local media to raise awareness? With her heart set on the road ahead, Lily faced the town hall one last time, determination flaring in her eyes. Little did she know, a surprise awaited her in the shadows, an encounter that would change everything. As Lily turned to head home, she felt a stirring in her gut. Was she ready for what came next? Lily stepped away from the town hall, taking a deep breath of the salty air. It felt fresh, invigorating. But beneath that exhilaration was a knot of anxiety twisting in her stomach. She couldn't shake the feeling that she was on the brink of something much bigger than herself. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. Glancing at the screen, she saw a text from her best friend, Mia. "Hey, I heard you rocked the meeting. Can we celebrate?" Lily's fingers hovered over the screen. Mia always knew how to lighten her mood. "Let us meet at the beach tomorrow morning," she typed back, a grin spreading on her face. With plans made, she continued to walk, her mind racing. She pictured the beach covered in trash, but also the vision she had of it clean and thriving, filled with families, laughter, and golden sunrises. But how? What if they didn't get enough volunteers? What if money for supplies fell through? She needed to stay focused. As she approached her house, she caught a glimpse of the ocean through the trees. Its vastness grounded her. The water sparkled with promise, and she remembered Jamie's words about resolve. Inside, the lights were dim, and her parents weren't home yet. Lily slipped into her room, her space for planning and dreaming. Papers littered her desk, a mix of sketches of marine life, articles on pollution, and notes on local flora and fauna. She grabbed a sheet and jotted down her ideas. More volunteers, media coverage, expert speakers. Suddenly, there was a loud knock on her door. Startled, she opened it to find a tall figure standing in the dim hallway, her older brother, Alex. He had an unusual look on his face, a mix of excitement and urgency. "Lily, you won't believe what I just heard," he exclaimed, stepping inside. "You know the old pier down by the beach? There are plans to tear it down and rebuild. They say it'll make the area much nicer." "What does that have to do with anything?" Lily asked, puzzled. "Well, if they rebuild, they might also want to promote the beach more. Think about it. If there's a cleanup happening and you create a real movement, they could get behind you. This might be the push the town needs." For the first time, Lily felt a flicker of hope mixed with excitement. "You really think so?" "Absolutely. If you engage the community and get the media involved, we could turn this into something huge." The warmth in his voice stirred something inside her. Lily made a quick decision. "We need to get info on those plans. If there's a chance to partner with the builders, we can influence how they handle their waste and conservation efforts during construction." "That's a great idea," Alex said, his eyes lighting up. "Let us find out who's in charge and see if we can meet with them." They spent the evening plotting and making phone calls. As she juggled excitement and nerves, Lily felt a new determined fire in her veins. She wasn't just fighting against pollution. She was building a movement for change. Together they mapped out a strategy, Alex helping her refine each step. When the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the room, Lily caught a glimpse of her reflection in the window. There she was, a girl who was ready to take on the world. With a renewed sense of purpose, she whispered to herself, "This is just the beginning." But as she turned to leave the room, her phone buzzed again, revealing news that would alter everything she thought she knew about the beach. Lily stared at her phone, her heart racing. The screen flashed with a news alert. A headline read, "Plans for pier reconstruction spark community debate. Environmental concerns surface." The article opened with bold statements from various locals, highlighting both excitement for the renovation and concern about environmental impacts. "What now?" she muttered under her breath. She clicked the link, her fingers trembling slightly. The article detailed the proposed changes to the pier, and how it could affect the beach and its surrounding wildlife. But more than that, it mentioned potential trouble. A report of increased pollution levels due to construction runoff. No, 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 she whispered, anxiety creeping back in. Alex peeked over her shoulder, reading along. This is not good. If they start construction without ensuring proper measures, everything you want to change could be at risk. Her mind raced. They needed to act quickly. What if we rally the community? If they see the uproar, the builders might take the environmental concerns seriously. Let us get into action mode, Alex said, the light of determination sparking in his eyes. We need to gather as much evidence and local support as possible. Lily quickly jumped into action. She reached for her laptop and started drafting a proposal. Let us connect with local environmental groups. We need data, photos, success stories from other communities that faced similar issues. Her voice was steady, the knot in her stomach starting to loosen as purpose rushed through her. Hours ticked by as they pored over information, called local activists and typed up emails. It felt empowering to have a plan, but also daunting. Lily couldn't help but think of the responsibility resting on her shoulders. As night deepened, her phone buzzed again. This time it was a message from Mia. Hey, can't wait for tomorrow. Let us brainstorm some epic ideas for the beach. A smile broke through her intense concentration. Mia's right. We should include her in this, Lily said, glancing at Alex. She's got some serious connections. Plus, she's great at organizing events. Perfect. The more voices we can get, the better, Alex replied. With renewed energy, Lily sent Mia a quick response, urging her to bring more ideas. But then, a thought struck her and added a twist of excitement. The upcoming community festival was just a few weeks away. What if we set up a booth there to raise awareness about the cleanup? We can gather signatures for a petition to present to the town council. That's genius. Alex nodded enthusiastically. You could get people to commit to volunteering right then and there. You'll create a movement in one day. Lily's heart swelled at the thought of people rallying together, united for the beach, for their town, and for each other. Suddenly, the anxiety that had gripped her felt lighter. She could see it. Families taking part in beach cleanups, kids learning about the ocean, laughter echoing off the waves. But a new worry wormed its way into her mind. What if the developers didn't care? What if all this effort fell flat against corporate greed? Would she even be able to make a difference? As those thoughts spiraled, the door creaked open. Their mom stood silhouetted in the doorway. What's going on in here? You two look like you're on a mission. Mom, we are. Lily's leading a movement to save the beach. Alex exclaimed, his excitement palpable. Wow, my little activist. She beamed, stepping into the room. But as she sat down, her expression shifted. Just be cautious, honey. You're entering a complicated world. It's not always fair. Lily nodded, understanding the weight behind her mother's warning. She had already sensed the challenges ahead, but was she ready for them? There was a fight brewing beneath the surface, and she was right at the center of it. In that moment, as hope battled uncertainty, Lily realized it was a risk worth taking. She took a deep breath. Let us do this, she said, her voice steady. The next morning, the sun spilled across the beach's golden sands. Dressed in her favorite sunset orange shirt, she headed down to meet Mia, her heart pounding with both anticipation and fear. As she stepped onto the beach, she felt the heat of the sun on her skin and the gentle sounds of the waves inviting her forward. This was at the start of something great. But as she scanned the horizon, her eyes caught sight of the pier's outline in the distance, and a wave of doubt crashed over her. Could she truly safeguard this sanctuary against what was coming? Just then her phone buzzed again. Another alert. With a resignation, she reached for it, unaware that the news it carried would change everything she thought she knew about the beach and herself. Her fingers fumbled over the screen as she opened the alert. The headline glared back at her. Community group plans counter-protest against peer development. Her heart sank deeper. They weren't just planning to rebuild. They were moving forward, completely dismissing environmental concerns. No, she whispered, her breath catching in her throat. This was serious. Lily felt her resolve harden, but she also felt that familiar tide of uncertainty rolling in. Mia appeared just as she was shutting her phone, her radiant smile illuminating the beach. Hey Lily, you look a bit frazzled. What's going on? Without hesitation, Lily shared the news. There's a counter-protest planned. I didn't even know people were this organized against the pier. Mia's expression shifted to one of determination. Then we have to get involved. We can't let someone else fight this battle for us. Right, Lily agreed, a spark igniting in her chest again. We need to make sure everyone knows what's at stake. We can't just stick to our booth at the festival. Mia's excitement radiated. What if we host our own meeting before the festival? A community gathering to unite those who care about the beach. We can invite speakers experts on environmental issues, people affected by pollution. Yes, let us get everyone's voice out there and make it clear. We love our beach and we want to back down, Lily exclaimed, feeling her heart race with enthusiasm. They huddled together, brainstorming ideas. It was like a tight circle of energy, each suggestion bouncing off the other. Lily could envision the community gathering, families setting up picnic blankets, kids playing in the sand, and most importantly, people listening to the real issues that threatened their beloved beach. Imagine, Mia said, a faraway look on her face, what it would be like if we actually succeeded. If we saved the beach from destruction. Can you picture it? Lily's cheeks flushed. Children giggling, their sandy feet pounding along the shore. Artists painting the sunset. Couples walking hand in hand. The vision was so vivid it almost felt tangible. Yet just as quickly doubt crept back in. Could they really pull this off? The developers were huge corporations, and her little idea felt like a drop in the ocean. Hey, Mia said, catching the flicker of uncertainty in Lily's eyes. Have you thought about rallying the local news? If they pick up the story, we'll reach more people. And we're not alone. The community is fighting for the beach too. True. If they hear our voices, maybe we can shift some perspectives, Lily said, a new determination bubbling within her. Just then, a small group of children ran past them, laughing and splashing water at each other. Lily found herself smiling, the sound of their joy bathing her in warmth. This was exactly what she wanted to protect. Let us get to work, she declared, energized. She pulled out her phone and began to type notes for the meeting while conversation flowed between her and Mia. They would need to tap into every resource they could find. Suddenly, the phone buzzed again, jolting her back to reality. A message popped up with a short clip from the local news anchor, announcing a town council meeting set for next week where the pier plans would be discussed. Lily's heart raced faster, the urgency hitting her like a wave crashing against the shore. We have to be there. This is our chance to be heard. But just as the momentum built, a nagging thought tugged at her. Could they really change the minds of those who only saw dollar signs? What if it was just another setup for failure? As the sun began to dip toward the horizon, casting a golden hue over the beach, Lily frowned, lost in thought. This wasn't just a fight for the beach. It felt like a fight for her own strength, her voice. The question lingered in the salty air. Would she be able to rise to the challenge? The moment loomed like the approaching tide, and she knew the time to decide was fading fast. The next morning the sun poured into Lily's room, and she felt a bit of that early morning warmth seep into her spirit. She sat up, replaying the previous day's excitement in her mind. The thought of the upcoming community meeting stirred hope within her, but the shadow of doubt still clung to her like seaweed. Lily quickly dressed, feeling the soft fabric against her skin. She grabbed her notebook and headed out, ready to meet Mia at the cafe they'd always frequented. As she walked, the salty air filled her lungs with a mixture of energy and anxiety. Would they really be able to gather enough support for the fight ahead? When she entered the cafe, Mia was already there, her laptop open and notes scattered across the table. Good morning, Mia called, waving her hand enthusiastically. I've started mapping out our agenda for the meeting. Lily slid into the chair opposite her, feeling a contagious spark of motivation. What do you have so far? Okay, so I thought we could start with a quick introduction to our purpose. Then we could have experts speak about the local ecosystem and why the pier development is a threat. Mia glanced at Lily, her eyes alight with passion. We can even set up a Q&A session to encourage people to voice their concerns. It sounded perfect, but Lily's heart was still trapped under a weight. What if nobody shows up? Or worse, what if they don't care? Mia leaned in, her face serious yet reassuring. Lily, people care. It's just about getting the word out. Remember the kids we saw on the beach yesterday? They're the ones we're fighting for. This isn't just about us anymore. It's about giving them a future. The words hung in the air, stirring something deep inside Lily. She nodded, gripping her notebook tighter. You're right. Let us get this agenda finalized and hit social media hard. They worked together for hours, their laughter mixing with the clatter of cups and the smell of fresh coffee. Each passing moment fueled their determination, drowning out the doubts. They drafted flyers, created social media posts, and even considered reaching out to local bloggers. With every step, Lily felt the tide of confidence rising. By the time lunch rolled around, a sense of community had already begun swirling around them. As they sat outside enjoying sandwiches and sweet tea, a family strolled by with their dogs, stopping to chat. Mia took that opportunity to share their plans. They were met with enthusiasm and support, igniting more hope within Lily. See, Mia nudged Lily with a smile. If we keep talking to people, we can create a wave of awareness. It all starts with conversation. After finishing their meal, they agreed to extend their efforts beyond just social media. They rolled up their sleeves and headed to the beach with a stack of flyers. The sands were warm and inviting, and families played along the shoreline. As they handed out flyers, Lily noticed smiles and nods of agreement as people read about the meeting. But just as momentum swelled, an unsettling sight caught her eye. A group of stern-looking men in business attire stood by the pier, pointing and conversing in low voices. Lily's heart sank. Was this a sign that the developers were ramping up their efforts? As they continued their outreach, the weight of the situation pressed down on her. It was one thing to have a vision, it was another to face reality. Did she really want to stir a fight with corporate giants? However, as she glanced back at the people enjoying the beach, a surge of determination washed over her. No matter the outcome, she would not stand by idly while the future of their town hung in the balance. Let us finish this day strong, she told Mia. Her voice steadied with conviction. We won tea back down. But deep down the looming question still echoed. Were they ready for the real fight ahead? Before she could dwell further, another message buzzed on her phone, creating ripples of uncertainty once more. It was an update from the local news station. Council meeting agenda released. Developer representative to speak in favor of project. As the words swirled in her mind, Lily felt the tide shift again. Was it too late to turn the tide back? Lily stared at her phone, her fingers trembling slightly. The news felt like a heavy stone dropped into the pit of her stomach. What are we up against? She murmured, her gaze shifting from the screen to the horizon where the sun dipped toward the water. The colors were vibrant, but they felt tainted now, smudged by her worry. Mia noticed the shift in her expression. What's wrong? Did you get bad news? Lily showed her the message. Mia sucked in a breath, her brows furrowing. This is serious. We need to be prepared. If they're already gearing up with a spokesperson, it means they're confident, possibly too confident. For a moment, silence fell between them, the distant laughter of children playing at the beach fading. Lily felt that heavy weight again, the one that made her stomach twist uncomfortably. What if we're not enough? She said quietly, the question tasting bitter in her mouth. Did it really matter how many flyers they handed out, how many conversations they started, if the other side was a corporate machine ready to roll over them? Mia leaned closer, urgency sharpening her tone. We are enough. Starting right now, we're the voice of this town. We need to show them that our resolve is stronger. Lily could see the fire in Mia's eyes, lit by the belief that they were on the right side of this battle. She took a deep breath, allowing the salty breeze to seep into her bones. All right. Let us hit social media again, but this time we need to make it personal. Show them what's at stake. As they returned to the cafe, their spirits lifted with every idea exchanged. They reached out to everyone they could think of, local activists, environmentalists, anyone who would share their plight. They created posts featuring pictures of the beach, the kids playing, and the wildlife that graced their shores. By the time the sun dipped low in the sky, painting it with hues of orange and pink, their phones buzzed with notifications. Support was rolling in and many were sharing their posts. Look! Mia shouted, eyes wide with excitement as she pointed to a message from a well-known local blog, offering to cover their story. This is our moment. They want to hear from us. The energy pushed them forward into the evening, and they began drafting a press release. Each word they wrote felt like a step toward reclaiming their message. The worry ebbed, replaced by a shared sense of purpose. But just as they were about to wrap things up, another message shot through the airwaves, cutting through the rising hope. A comment on their latest post read, "All that effort and for what? You'll lose anyway." Lily's heart sunk again at the weight of cynicism. Do we even stand a chance? She whispered to herself. Mia sensed the shift again. Ignore that. Negativity doesn't help. We're fighting for something bigger. But as they prepared to leave, Lily's mind raced. Maybe it was easy for others to dismiss their efforts. They weren't fighting against just a project. They were battling an entire system designed to crush dreams. Once outside, they joined the other beach visitors, holding flyers in one hand and hope in the other. But the looming threat of the council meeting hung over them like dark clouds ready to burst. Just then, an unexpected noise caught her attention. A lively group was gathering, and as they drew closer, Lily recognized Sam, a friend from high school. He was waving a handmade banner that read, "Save our beach." Lily's heart lifted for a moment, the hope flickering back like a flame. "Look," she said, pulling Mia closer. "People care. We're not alone." But as she watched Sam rallying people, a thought snagged in her mind like a thorn. What would they do if the developers unleashed their power next week in the council chamber? Would all of this passion and effort be enough? As the crowd began to chant, Lily felt every pulse of their voices. Perhaps there was strength in numbers, but doubt still flickered beneath the surface. They had to confront the meeting head-on, and soon. "Lily," Mia's voice was urgent. "Are you ready for tomorrow? It's time to gather everyone we can." The moment hung heavy in the air. Tomorrow wasn't just another day. It was the first battleground of their fight, and their courage would be put to the ultimate test. "Ready as I'll ever be," Lily said, determination rising inside her. But even as she said it, a nagging worry churned in her gut. What if courage alone wasn't enough to win this battle? Lily could barely sleep that night. The shadows of doubt moved in and out of her mind, gnawing at the edges of her determination. She tossed and turned, the cool sheets now feeling too restrictive, too much like the weight of the fight ahead pressing down on her chest. Every faint sound echoed like a reminder of the impending council meeting, the stakes, and the people watching. Morning arrived with relentless brightness, but it brought little comfort. As she dressed, she peeked outside to see Mia already at the beach with a few others, ready to organize flyers and chalk messages on the pavement, their enthusiasm like a heartbeat against the morning calm. The sight of them stirred something deep inside her, a connection to something greater, a sense of purpose. With a quick breakfast, she headed out. The group was buzzing with ideas, faces scrunched in concentration as they discussed strategies. "We can't just rely on social media," Mia was saying. "Let us get creative. Maybe a beach cleanup event this weekend? Get the families involved." "That's a great idea," Lily chimed in, though uncertainty flickered in her eyes. But what if it doesn't pull enough people? What if Mia cut her off gently? "Let us focus on what we can do, not what might go wrong. Every little bit counts, Lily. Remember that." With renewed energy, they broke off into smaller teams. Lily joined a couple of younger children organizing a beach art exhibit that they hoped would showcase the beauty of their shoreline, drawing attention to what was at stake. As they colored the sand with bright paints and arranged shells and stones into striking patterns, laughter bubbled up all around her. But when Lily stepped back and looked around, she couldn't shake the feeling that their efforts could be obliterated in moments during the council meeting. She had to push those thoughts aside. Every stroke on the canvas, every piece of colored chalk scattered across the pavement, was a testament to their love for the beach. The hours flew by. At one point, a soft hand slipped into hers. It was a girl named Julie, no older than 8, with big brown eyes that seemed wise beyond her years. "We're doing this for our beach, right?" "It's beautiful," she said simply, her tone unwavering. "Exactly," Lily replied, feeling warmth spread in her chest. Kids like Julie were what it was all about. They were the future guardians of this place, the ones who would have to live with the decisions that were being made now. After a long day filled with creativity and hope, they gathered again in a circle to discuss the next steps. As evening crept in, Lily felt a sense of accomplishment wash over her. "The beach cleanup is on Saturday. Let us encourage everyone to bring their families. Let us show them what this means to us." Cheers erupted, but a part of her still felt uneasy. They were doing everything they could, but would it change the minds of the council? As dusk fell, and the sun painted the sky in shades of purple and orange, a text buzzed in her pocket. Lily pulled out her phone, and her heart sank as she read the latest update from the developers. They intended to push forward their proposal despite the noise from the community. Just like that, the ground felt shaky beneath her feet. Hey, what's wrong? Mia noticed her pale expression. Lily swallowed hard. They're not backing down, they're moving forward. A silence fell over them, thick and heavy, laced with a looming sense of dread. All of that work and hope felt at risk of being swept away, like the tide devouring the shore. But we have the cleanup this weekend. A voice piped up, breaking the tension. We'll gather more support. People care. Yeah, we're not done fighting, Mia echoed, squeezing Lily's shoulder. We won't let them take this without a struggle. Lily took a deep breath, searching the faces around her. Hope flickered again, but doubt still gnawed at her. Was what they had built really enough? Before she could voice her thoughts, a shout came from the group. Let us get to work. Tomorrow would be another test. She had to believe. But deep down, as shadows crept in, a question lingered: if they couldn't sway the council, what was their plan B? In the midst of their planning, a curious figure approached, someone Lily did not expect to see, and he carried a familiar sense of uncertainty with him. As the figure neared, Lily squinted against the fading light, her heart racing. It was Maxwell, the local journalist. The last time they spoke, he seemed indifferent, brushing aside her concerns as if they were mere child's play. But today there was a hint of urgency in his stride. Hey Lily, he said, catching his breath. I've been hearing whispers about what's happening at the council meeting. I wanted to know if I could talk to you. Lily's instincts kicked in. This was the moment. If she could sway the media, they might gather enough attention to put pressure on the council. Sure. What do you want to know? She asked, her voice steady despite the nervous flutter in her stomach. Maxwell glanced around at the gathering crowd rising behind her. I know this might seem daunting, but your movement has legs. People care. I just need the right story and the right angle to get it out to the public. A flame sparked within Lily. We need to expose how the development could harm our beach. We're planning a cleanup this weekend to show the community cares. Great, Maxwell replied, his eyes brightening. I'd like to cover that. Maybe even showcase it live? Show the reality of the beach before and after. Add a face to the issue. Lily felt a rush of energy. This was the ally she needed. It's about more than just trash. It's about preserving the delicate ecosystem and the community's heart. You can showcase that people are willing to fight, to come together. It's not just a cleanup. It's a battle for our home. Maxwell nodded, keenly absorbing her words, his pen darting across his notepad. Just let me know when and where. I'll help spread the word. And if you have a petition ready, I can spotlight that too. Absolutely. Lily exclaimed, her heart racing with new possibilities. We have to get local signatures to support our cleanup efforts, and to urge the council to reconsider the project. As Lily walked away from the meeting with Maxwell, a sense of renewed strength pulsated through her. Just as they discussed the logistics of the event, an idea took root in her mind. They could transform the cleanup into a community festival, turning it into a powerful demonstration of solidarity. The next day arrived with sunbeams piercing the early morning mist. As Lily gathered with Mia, they shared their plan. Let us make our beach cleanup into a festival. We can have local musicians, art displays, food stalls, and interactive learning about ocean conservation, she suggested, her vision bubbling over with excitement. Wow, that's a fantastic idea, Mia replied, eyes shimmering with enthusiasm. This could attract families and make it a whole community event. They spent the day racing through the beach, spreading the word, and connecting with local artisans and musicians. Cantankerous waves crashed against the shore as cheerful chatter filled the air. Each conversation brought more friends into the fold, building momentum, solidarity, and hope. But just as the preparations swelled to a joyous peak, Lily caught sight of news trucks arriving, reporters ready to cover the upcoming festival. Her heart raced even more now. This was the moment they'd been waiting for. On the day of the event, the beach was alive with laughter and colorful decorations. In every corner, families participated in games, gathered trash, and celebrated their love for the ocean. Lily felt a radiating warmth as happiness filled every heart. tangible proof that their dedication had sown seeds of community resilience. With every collected piece of plastic and each signature added to the petitions, Lily's heart swelled with pride. There was a palpable shift in the air, a spirited friendship blossoming among attendees, who daubed each other with paint, danced to a local band, and cheered their collective resolve. When the moment to present the petition arrived, Lily took a deep breath. She found herself standing before a crowd that was no longer just friends, but a movement, an unstoppable force for change. With her voice steady and her heart wide open, she declared, "This beach is ours to protect. We're standing up for our future, for our children, and for the ocean." Tears of joy welled in her eyes as cheers erupted, binding them together in hope. As she locked eyes with her mother and grandfather's picture, an overwhelming sensation coursed through her. Lily's words echoed like a beautiful melody across the crowd. And of course, the journalist capturing it all would have a chance to show the world that Willow Bay wasn't just a place, it was a home filled with heart. As the tide rolled in, washing away traces of trash from the beach, the strength and spirit of the community washed over her like a warm embrace. Regardless of the council meeting ahead, this was only the beginning. Lily knew, as they all celebrated their bond with the ocean, that no power could crush what grew from love and determination. With a radiant smile, she whispered, "This is just the beginning." As the sun set in a blaze of colors, illuminating their clean playground, Lily felt that familiar thrill resonating in her chest, like being at the peak of a wave, ready to surf toward the horizon of uncharted experiences. Now it's your turn to join the wave of change. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and support this movement. Comment your reactions and feelings about Lily's transformation and her journey. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. This is the moment to show your support. Don't wait not even one more second to share. Only true fans understand the importance of supporting the channel through these actions.